Joining us right now is former Massachusetts Senator and Fox News contributor Scott Brown. Senator, good to see you.
Hey, good to see you, Maria.
Are we going to see a different preparation mode for Donald Trump this time around? What can Trump do to win over voters in this upcoming debate Sunday night?
Well, you saw what Mike Pence did, and he did really a remarkable job against Tim Kaine. It was a complete domination. And after that, I spoke to one of the Donald Trump's sons. I said, listen, I hope you guys watched. I hope you now build on what Mike Pence actually did and that you put in the proper preparation. And they seem to acknowledge that, yes, they're aware of what he did. They're aware of what the challenges are, and they are going to prepare. And I think being out with Chris Christie in a town hall event is certainly one step, and spending time with people who have done these types of town halls on a regular basis is always good preparation. But he needs to really be himself, be more focused as to not getting bogged down on answers, hitting it, pivoting, and then going in and showing the comparisons and the differences between the two candidates. That's the most important thing.
Dagan, I hope he's ready. I hope Chris Christie interrupts him constantly. He's got to be ready for that. Somebody talking on top of him, interrupting him, stopping him from saying anything negative about Hillary.
Taunting him and baiting him. And
think he's going to be ready for that?
I think, Senator, can you answer that? Is he listening? Is he going to be ready for that? Because, again, like his smartest surrogates, his smartest advisors know what needs to get done. The question is he going to do it?
Sure. Dagan, everyone is telling him making suggestions as to what they think should be done. He's obviously going to take that, I think, and do it in his own way. The question is it the right way? Is it the way that is going to be attractive to the American people? And he recognizes one thing about Donald Trump, I think you guys know and I know and others know, is that he doesn't make the same mistake twice. And he's going to be obviously very prepared because he knows the issues. He knows the answers. And he now just has to he has to articulate them in a way, in a town hall forum, where he comes across actually seem to enjoy himself, have a little bit of sense of humor, be a little bit self-deprecating, but also talk about the very serious issues facing our country.
Senator, let me follow up on that very point. You had a fascinating observation after the last debate when people were outraged and all excited about the sniffles. You said, no, I think what's going on is that Donald Trump was nervous. Do you still think he's nervous, or has he gotten a sense of relaxation and calm that he's going to need in that town hall format?
I only reference that because it's happened to me. That's one of my mechanisms is to kind of take that cleansing breath almost. And he clearly was nervous. She was nervous. And what I'll tell you is that when I was there in obviously Hofstra, her people were saying, uh-oh, because she didn't blow him out of the water. And to have somebody as experienced as Hillary Clinton going at it with Donald Trump, and he basically, held his own for most of the part, they're a little nervous. Hillary's people are a little nervous that he, in fact, is going to be ready this time. So, yes, obviously he was nervous. Anyone who says he wasn't is full of it. And will he learn from this, and will he move forward? Yes, when you're debating one-on-one in front of 100 million people against a seasoned pro, you're going to take some lumps, but I think he's going to do well.
Senator Lee Carter's here. She's got the inside on the dials and the polls.
Yes.
But let me ask you this, because for the first time in months, Trump is trailing Clinton in a new poll out of Ohio. The Democratic nominee up 2 points. This was a biggie because he was leading in Ohio. What does he need to do to regain that lead?
Well, obviously, he needs to go and spend more time in Ohio and a lot of these key battleground states. But I've said it before, Maria, not only to you, but to others who are listening, is that you're still, for the next 30-plus days, these polls are going to be all over the place. It's kind of a good indicator, but it's not really what's happening. And you referenced it earlier in your show. Hey, who are you voting for? Yeah, I'm voting for Donald Trump. Don't tell anybody, though.
Right.
I mean, there's a tremendous, Lee and I were talking about that yesterday. I mean, there's tremendous amount of that going on.
I agree with you. Yeah, go ahead, Lee.
So one of the things that they said about the last debate was for Donald Trump, it was as much as what he didn't say as what he did say. He didn't go after Clinton Global Initiative. He didn't talk about pay for play. He didn't talk about the emails. He didn't talk about so many different things, and he didn't get to his own issues. How do you think we're going to, are we going to see a totally different set of topics? Do you think that he's going to be prepared to bring all these things up?
Well, the topics I thought were pretty easy. I thought the questions in the last debate were pretty easy, almost softballs. I was waiting, when he answered it. Then when he started to get bogged down, he didn't have time to recover. Versus Pence, even when Pence finished answering, he says, excuse me, by the way, and then he went right into the things that he wanted to say about ISIS, about Iraq, about this server, about, all the various scandals with the Clinton Foundation. And that's what Donald Trump needs to do, regardless when he hears Benghazi, he's got to talk about, obviously, her failure in foreign policy. When he hears cybersecurity, he's got to go right into, obviously, the email servers. When he hears influence in the White House, obviously go right into the Clinton Foundation. That comes with really training and knowing how to debate properly.
And the moderators are going to be critical, by the way, because the moderator, Elaine Keano, was she was not in control at all during the vice
she brought up
presidential
good
debate.
topics, I thought.
She did.
Give her credit for talking about substance.
She was not in control of them.
She wasn't in control.
And she also, when they would actually start debating something like foreign policy, she would say, next topic. Next topic, and this is Anderson Cooper and Martha Raddatz, and I know that the New York Post reported yesterday that there's fighting between the two camps over who gets to ask the good questions, over who gets the hot topics and who doesn't. So I guarantee you that a lot of these things will be brought up.
Newsflash, it's not about you.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter who asks the question. It's not about you.
Like I said last hour, icon.
We're due a good moderator. I think we're 0 for 2. Let's have a good moderator this time.
Exactly.
Senator, one piece of advice for Donald Trump. What would you tell him?
I tell him to relax. I tell him to have a little bit of a sense of humor, but also don't get bogged down, as you've referenced. Don't fall for the bait. You know, those easy kind of, having him over-explain. And between you and me, I don't think the moderator matters. You don't want to know who the umpire or the referee is in a game. I don't care who the moderator is. I want the people to be, the candidates to be able to go back and forth. So I didn't mind the last debate. I thought it had a lot. It really brought out Kane's really problems in the fact that he couldn't get a word in edgewise, and he was virtually bulldozed by Mike Pence. So I didn't seem to mind it.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see Sunday night. Senator, good to see you. Scott Brown.
Thanks.